Give me a moment, por favor. Thank you so kindly. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? I'm not sorry. Okay, I kind of am because, like, I don't. Y'all know that I'm totally distracted. Like 24/7, I'm distracted. So that's a life, bitch. Oh yeah, yeah. So here we are, my friends. Here we are. Oh my god, I'm just a hot mess today. Apparently. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing? This is live on my Patreon as a perk. And for those of you in the Untamed Wit group on Facebook, I go live. I shared this live there as well as a perk for anyone who wants to listen to me ramble or who actually I can't even say to converse with me because for whatever reason, y'all on Facebook, you keep comments. Like, comment, please do. I'll get back with you. But I can't ever see your comments. Or sometimes it'll show me, it'll be like, peekaboo, bitch. And it'll show me like one comment or two comments and then nothing for the rest of the live. And I'm like, you're really hurting my feelings because like people aren't talking to me. They were, and then they're not. And so I'm like, did I say something like offensive? I probably did. Well, hello, Aspen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's just us. It's just us peeps, you know? We're just gonna have some fun. We're gonna enjoy our time together. And so I titled this You Built the Garden, but You Locked the Gate. Another session for Vexxed cards for the Coven. Because you know, why not? We can enjoy ourselves. We can have fun. So someone, is it you, bitch? Is it you? Tell me if it is. It could be me. I don't know. Um, someone in the coven built a beautiful life and quietly locked the gate. You call it independence. The cards call it distance. Let's talk about what happens when comfort becomes isolation. Oh my god. Aspen says I'm good with locking myself in the garden. Yeah. So my name is bitch. My name is Michael Blackthorn. I've been reading tarot since I was young, like really young, like 10. I'm so old now. And I've learned to trust what the cards show me before it shows up in real life. The vexations, the problems no one's talking about yet, the crossroads where witches get stuck. This, my friends, is Vex cards for the Coven. I pull cards for struggles you haven't named. Your crossroads, my reading. So let's see what needs to be said. Dun dun dun. And if you guys hear, this sounds so terrible. If you, my cats are absolutely annoying me right now. So if you hear meows or if you hear like scratches, it's okay. It's just my cats on the outside of this door. Don't worry about it. It's fine. uh, Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So Austin was like, dude, I was just telling a friend I need a couple days off, complete isolation, and a better spell check, apparently. I understood what you meant though. I understood what you meant. It's okay. We're okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look at this. The vexation. So it's like, what is the vexation here? It's the nine. It's the nine of pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is associated with Venus and Virgo. Yeah? Very earthy, very earth-oriented, earth-centered energy. Correct? Correct. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it's completion energy, self-sufficiency, the almost finished chapter, right? So it's like, what could be a vexation here? But if you look at it, just like tell me your thoughts just looking at the card. Okay, but what is the problem here? They look comfortable, but do they? Look at their face. What the fuck is on that bird? Like, look at its head. It looks like we don't even know. We don't know. Poor thing. It's inflamed or something. But the Nine of Pentacles here in the Rider-Waite Smith shows a figure standing in a lush garden. We have grapes heavy on the vine. Apparently that's I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like a falcon. I don't know birds well, but like I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be something, but it's like I don't know. It really bothers me the more that I look at it. It's like really I can't handle it. Um but the person's in fine robes. They look like they're in comfort and autonomy and no visible chaos, right? They have this sort of like, I'm in my own space. It's kind of like built up where I'm isolated a bit. I feel good. I have good shit, right? And on paper, this is the dream. Truly, honestly. And if we tackle it from the number, it's really hard for me to say numerologically for some reason. Like it's not fun to say. But if we tackle it from that standpoint, we look at the nine, and nine is the threshold. It's strength after after suffering, right? Nines herald change, so it's near completion. It carries compassion, endurance, and wisdom earned through experience. It's the moment before 10, before overflow becomes responsibility, right? And so, like nine, we have this like, I'm enjoying my time, my space here because I've been through it, and I don't really want to get back to life. I just want to enjoy. I want to rest. I want to enjoy this. Yeah. And astrologically, we're looking at Venus in Virgo. And the major common associations to Venus be the Empress. So we have beauty, abundance, love. And Virgo is the hermit, discernment, solitude, refinement. We can see Venus and Virgo, the Empress and the hermit in this card, right? So this is curated independence. This is a garden maintained by discipline. And which sounds good, right? It sounds good. It sounds delicious actually. But here's the vexation, okay? You built something beautiful, but you're standing in it alone. You've cultivated self-sufficiency so thoroughly that you've insulated yourself from the world. Not because you hate people, mm, questionable, but because, and not because you're cold, but because it's easier. It's easier to make, and we'll get into why it's easier. We'll see it in the cards that come after. Um, it's easier to maintain control. It's easier to keep the sort of this bird thing here perched and trained. It's easier to say, I don't need anyone. And maybe you don't. But the question isn't need, it's really connection. So the Nine of Pentacles can become the sort of gilded cage. You've earned your peace, you've earned your independence. But if you're honest, something feels quiet, too quiet. Comfort has become distance. And the Coven doesn't thrive in isolation. So this is going to be, we're going to ramble today, like always. I don't know why I say today because we always do it, or I always do it. It makes me think of, I told my patrons, I think it was yesterday, like, it's very weird. So the house across from me, the woman died, and now new people are moving in, older people, and the lady was old as well. And our neighbor next to us, he was an asshole, but like whatever, old white man. He died like a couple days ago, and so, but they were both kind of alone. Like they dated each other for like a moment, I think, and there's like drama there, I think, but they're both gone now. Anyways, so it's just interesting how that fits in with this because it's like, oh, they had they had their solitude, but they were alone and in isolation, and there was a lack of connection. And that also is I don't know, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good because when we think about like at the end, what is our legacy? What have we shared? What have we given? What have we participated in? You know, there has to be a healthy blend. And remember, the coven doesn't thrive in isolation. And this also makes me think of like oh, I'm facilitating this sort of this space where I can enjoy, but what is enjoying all of this stuff if I can't share it with anyone? I think about that a lot. It's like I really want to share it with people I care about, people I love, my community. And I think it's also a self protective mechanism, right? Where in the Nine of Wands, we're like, we put ourselves in a position where, yes, on the outside, it looks like we have this lovely, and we do have this lovely experience, but at what cost? People don't see the internal struggles because people think, oh, you have it good. And so they project that onto you, not recognizing, you know, okay, yes, on some level I do, but there are other struggles. So let's talk about what we're not seeing. So this is, what you're not seeing, which is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is associated with the moon in Taurus. We have balance, we have reciprocity, we have the path that you must tread, right? The six is movement, harmony, the step after crisis. And numerologically, six is, again, the sort of the witch's path, the road toward equilibrium. And we have moon and Taurus here. The moon is associated with the high priestess, inner knowing, and Taurus is the hierophant, structure, tradition, shared values. So can we see like, oh, we're not seeing this sort of crave, right? This craving, I have this knowledge and this wisdom, and I have a way to structure it and to provide. I want to provide. Does that make sense? And so we see where that vexation would be manifested in the Nine of Pentacles here. Is like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have the ability to share with my people. And so the card shows a figure. Again, we look at the card here and we pay attention to what we see. A figure distributing coins to two kneeling individuals. We have scales in hand, charity, exchange, giving and receiving. So what you're not seeing is this. You have more to offer than you're allowing and more to receive than you're permitting. You're you've grown so comfortable in self-sufficiency that you've forgotten the sacredness of exchange. This is so important. I'm gonna read my notes again here, express it. You've grown so comfortable in self-sufficiency that you've forgotten the sacredness of exchange. I think we can find ourselves, a lot of us can find ourselves in that. It's like we're so used to doing things alone because like when we ask for help or we rely on other people, we fall short. And so we create a very disconnected view of I just have to do it myself if I want it done right. And we don't allow other people to help. We don't allow other people to help in the way they know how, and we judge it, and it becomes a thing, and we're being told to get over that. We're being told to navigate through that. What we're not seeing is the fact that, what? Yes, we have um something to give of ourselves. We have enough to give of ourselves in whatever way it is. But also it's important to be able to be open to receiving in return. So yes, provide, but also allow yourself to receive. And it doesn't, like, we need to stop valuing things like in a way where it's like equal measure, right? And so this is saying like, oh, let me provide this. And maybe someone's like, I don't have much, but I would love to give you this. And so thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, it doesn't have to be, oh, I'm able to provide thousands of dollars in education to this for free or as a complimentary, blah, blah, blah. And I expect someone to provide me thousands of dollars worth of education or worth of something in return. No, that's not how it is. we're missing the mark if that's what we're thinking, right? So there is sacredness in exchange. The Six of Pentacles is not about equal measure. It's about appropriate measure. Give what you can, receive what is offered, and let the flow happen. You've been guarding your garden, but gardens aren't meant to be sealed. They're meant to feed. They're meant to be shared. They're meant to take care of the environment, right? Our environment in our communities. Okay. So you don't have to overextend. You don't have to perform generosity, but you do need to let the gates open sometimes. The moon in Taurus says your security doesn't disappear when you share it. The high priestess and the hierophant together whisper, wisdom is meant to circulate. So, what does that say to you? How does that make you feel? If you've been thinking no one understands me anyway, or they just see the surface, that may be true, but have you let them see beneath it? That sounds that sounds a little pervy, but I promise it's not. You know what I mean? It's like, well, people don't see me, but have you allowed them to? Have you opened up and put yourself in position that may be a little uncomfy to be seen? You know, be open to that. What's going on there? And what's actually happening, this is fascinating to me. So the way that this card popped up, I'm like, oh wow, this is juicy. This is juicy. We have the Five of Swords. What's actually happening and going on here? The Five of Swords, which is Venus and Aquarius. We have air, conflict, ego battles, the illusion of winning. Now we pivot. Five is disruption energy, yes? It's the body reacting to stress, conflict, destabilizing the system. Fives are uncomfortable, necessary, but uncomfortable. Okay. Venus and Aquarius, the Empress, the star, love filtered through detachment, ideals over intimacy. Okay. So the Rider Waite imagery shows a smirking figure holding swords while others walk away, seemingly defeated. There's victory here, but it's hollow. Okay. Aspen says, yeah, I've been in a state of explosive diarrhea. I'm just kidding. Sorry, you can't see what she says, so I had to make something fun up. No, Aspen says, I've been in a state of explosive rage the last couple days. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of the same thing, right? But yeah. So, okay, let me center. Okay, pay attention, Michael. Um, but there's victory in this card, but it's hollow. And here's what's actually happening. People are projecting onto us. So people project onto you. They see your Nine of Pentacles life and assume ease. They assume privilege. They assume you've never struggled. They don't see the labor behind the vineyard, the pruning, the seasons of drought. And instead of correcting them, you've chosen, or we've chosen, detachment. You've told yourself, let them think what they want. And sometimes that's wise, but sometimes it's simply armor and not necessary, not appropriate for what we're trying to facilitate. The Five of Swords warns against engaging in petty conflict. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to win arguments that were never yours. But this card also reveals a quiet truth. You're tired. You're tired of being misunderstood. You care more than you let on. And that internal conflict, caring deeply but presenting indifference, is creating friction in your body, in your nervous system, in your relationships. Venus and Aquarius can love humanity while struggling with individuals. That sorry, that that's a mind fuck for me right now. Just being able, like, I typed it up in my notes, but like verbally expressing it, right? Saying it out loud with like recording. I'm like, fuck. Venus in Aquarius can love humanity while struggling with individuals. You've distanced yourself to avoid the fight, to avoid the drama, to avoid being dragged into someone else's insecurity. And that's wise. But make sure detachment hasn't become isolation. You do not need to participate in conflict. You do not need to defend your life, but you also don't need to pretend you don't care. Authenticity is quieter than defense. I feel this at my core because I really like I'm in a weird I'm in a weird phase of my life. I'm in a weird transition. I'm in a weird I don't know. Um I've cut a lot of people out because they don't deserve my time or energy. They just don't. You know, they can't be bothered to show up for me. But I also I'm speaking about witchcraft and witches here, right? I care so much about the witch as a communal, entity or being. I care a lot actually. I have a heart. I like to say I don't, and I like to feed into that, because people like to make assumptions just because of my humor and how I position myself. I feed into what everyone says about me. I do because it's like why not? But I do care. I have emotions. I have a heart. I love. I am an emotional person. I am a caring person. I am all of those things, but I also don't take any bullshit, because why? I'm also very air oriented, mercurial, and Saturnian. You know, my rising and my sun sign are ruled by Saturn, but I also have Mercury in my first house. We're bros. We're sisters. And so like I feel this at its core. Like, what's actually happening is we're finding our places right now in the community in our coven and how we want to show up for one another, but also we're learning how to be authentic. Actually what it means to be authentic. People fight. We bicker, right? But there are also always going to be people who want to steal from you, who want to challenge you, who want to plant seeds about you, who want to do this or that. They want what they think you have. They don't realize what you put in to get there. And so like they want to kind of like dry hump it or surface fuck it and get the rewards. And I was like, no, you're just gonna get your dick caught up in a zipper, or whatever. Go for it, try it. You're not gonna get there. Um, and so it's like what's actually happening here is learning more about how we can be a part of the coven and have space for each and every one of us who really wants to be here. Does that make sense? Um, so yeah, let me not keep rambling. Let's get on. What happens if you don't listen? This is fascinating because we have if you don't listen. And to me, we have the Ace of Cups, which is water. New emotional beginnings, intuition overflowing, the cup offered by spirit. Here's the twist. If you don't get dragged into the Five of Swords energy, if you don't play their game, if you don't shrink or harden, something opens. The ace is the beginning, pure potential. Water is emotion, intuition, spirituality. The Rider Waite Smith shows a divine hand offering a chalice. And the way I was taught and the way I teach, the hand is coming from the right towards the left, but it's also erect in present moment, like in center, right? And so it's coming from the future, offering the solution to sort of like towards the past, but also like this is relevant to what is happening now. And so here is this blessing, right? So be mindful of that. overflowing with 5 streams, 5 senses, 5 wounds healed. If you refuse to engage in petty conflict and instead choose genuine connection, this ace pours into your life. And so, like, for me, just as an example, right now, I'm dealing with a lot of people taking from me and regurgitating like what I say, what I teach, how I offer things, and trying to put themselves on a pedestal that they do not. First of all, no one should be on a pedestal, but they're trying to at the same time saying, oh, we're not putting ourselves on a pedestal, but that's what you're trying to do. They're trying to position themselves in a way where they know what they're talking about, and they don't. You don't, because when you copy someone, when you steal from someone, when you try to be the blueprint of someone, but you don't have their soul, you don't have their heart, you don't have their spice, you know, you just can't. And so that's kind of this energy where I am not going to give them that time of day. Keep trying, but you'll never be me. And I think that everyone should be that. I'm saying that as an example. You guys should feel the same way about you. Like, keep trying, but you didn't put in the work to be who I am and what I am and where I am. So you're not going to be there. But you can keep trying. Go for it if that's what you feel like you need to be doing. But I'm going to keep serving. I'm going to keep serving. Cunt. Bitch. I'm going to keep serving my community, my coven, the people I love, the people I care about, the witch. I will keep serving my gods. I will keep serving my ancestors. I will keep being of service because I know who I am. I know what I am, and I don't need to involve myself in pettiness. Sure, girl. Like, I can put like my hoops, they're ready to go down. We can fight, hon. Like, boom, one down. We can have a little petty, a little, slap slap, but like, no, there's so much more to life. A little conflict is necessary. But like, when we get caught up in it so much, we live for it, and we forget the beauty of just living, the beauty of showing up for the people we care about, the people we love, the people we want to grow with, right? And so, again, if you refuse to engage in petty conflict and instead choose genuine connection, this ace is going to pour into your life new emotional bonds, new creative inspiration, new spiritual depth. But here's the condition: you have to become more human again. We go back to the vexation of the Nine of Pentacles. You have to become more human again. The Nine of Pentacles can become so composed and so curated that vulnerability disappears. The Ace of Cups asks for softness in a way. Let people in. Offer something real. Receive something without suspicion. Let people be nice to you. Let people provide. And get out of the sort of thought process that there's a condition here. Even if there is a condition here, allow yourself to receive honestly, authentically. What the fuck? Authentically. Um, Aspen says, do the work with the people who share in it and ignore the haters until it's time to punch them in the punch them in the throat, or kick them in the throat too, because like I would be wearing some really cute Doc Martens. Like, let's be honest, those things are heavy, and if I'm gonna put them on and wear them, they got to be put to use, like, go for it. Yeah, yeah. And really, you don't need to dismantle your independence. You don't need to abandon your boundaries. You need to integrate earth and water, stability and feeling, self-sufficiency and communion. If you continue to stay locked in the garden, the cup still exists, but you won't taste its deliciousness. I feel like it has some ambrosia in it, so like, let's be drinking it, girl. Let's go. But if you open the gate if you open the gate, you'll find that not everyone is a Five of Swords prick, right? Not everyone is a Five of Swords character. Some people are here to drink with you. Some people are here to show up with you, you know? And it's so hard because when you become burned, like, and that's kind of like my thing too. People like, why do you give so much? I literally just gave a friend who is starting something. I don't want to give it away, but like they're starting something and I have resources. I don't have a lot, y'all, but I have what I have. I save and I get things that I want. And so, yeah, I gave a friend with no expectation, nothing. I gave someone, some things to help them start because, like, when I start something, I want to start well. I want to have a good microphone. I want to have a good camera whenever I decide to go on camera. I want to have all of these things that set me up for success. You still have to learn how to use it. I still don't think I'm using my microphone that well. It's a good microphone, but I don't feel like it's I don't know. I still have to figure that out. But it's like that's who I am. If I have something and I know that someone needs or wants or they're starting something, I will give if I can, with no expectation. Like I give so much to people like recently I'm no longer friends with so much. But like, and I don't share that to be like, oh my God, I gave someone, they gave too. They provided as well. You know, I will not negate that. But it's like, that's my character. That's my nature. And yes, I've been burned so much, burned a lot, things stolen, right? But also, like, I don't want to change who I am. I love giving. I love providing where I can. I love being able to share. Like, I love, because I know what it's like to not have. Or I know, and not to say that these individuals don't have, but I know what it's like to want something and have to wait or have to like, save and use resources to get there. But like if I have those resources already, then why not try to help someone that I care about? Or why not try to help a friend? Or why not show up in that way? It doesn't matter what they choose to do with it after, if they sell it or whatever. That's on them, and that's their right to do so because I have done my part in showing up the best way I know how. Does that make sense? And I feel like this is going on in these cards and this vexation and in this conversation. So what do you do? Ground yourself in your independence, but don't idolize it. Share something, share one thing, accept an offering, engage without armor. You built the garden, my friend. You earned the vineyard. You refined your life with discipline and devotion. Now let it breathe, okay? Let it breathe. Not everyone who approaches is here to take. Not everyone wants to just like drain you dry. That sounds so. Everything sounds so wrong. Why? Because I have a dirty mind, apparently. Um, but I know most of you do too. So, haha. Aspen says, "Ugh, us Earth signs ain't built for all this be soft and human stuff." Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. That's all I can say is yes, you are. It's repeating. It's like legit repeating in my head over and over and over. Like I just like got stuck. Um, we are. My moon is in Taurus. That's Earth. And Saturn ruled, so it's like I have some heaviness there. I know. You don't have to like it, but I think you kinda do. There's nothing wrong with like, I feel like that's the thing is that people think, "Oh, being soft means, like, you have to be a pushover," or it's not that. Being soft is more about Allowing ourselves to be more refined, and refined doesn't mean prim and proper. It just means learning to go with that sort of whatever is being presented, not having to have that control, allowing ourselves to kind of be in our element and let it be what it is and what we need. But yes, you built your garden and you've earned your vineyard. You've refined your life with discipline and devotion. So let it breathe. Let it breathe. And not everyone who approaches is here to take. And if they are, even if they are, you are strong enough to discern that without, you're strong enough to discern that what their motivations are without you having to close off entirely, right? And so that's kind of like where I'm at in the sense of I know who I am. I know what I love doing. I will never stop giving. I will never stop going above and beyond because that's how I like to be. That's a part of maybe trauma, but like I enjoy that. Not to not for people to say, "Oh, I'm so grateful," or "Thank you so much," but because like if I have something and I know that you might need it or want it, then and I can provide it, I'm going to, and that makes me happy because then that means you can save the resources that you are putting for that for something else. And that's to me helpful, you know. Um, you don't have to win. You don't have to defend. You don't have to isolate to survive. Let the ace of cups pour. Okay? Let it pour. So, if this was for you, if this spoke to you, let me know. Comment, let me know. Let me know what you thought. Share your experiences, your advice, your tips, your tricks. Not all your tricks, but the right tricks. Um let me know if you felt it somewhere in your chest, in your core, your soul, in your heart, wherever. Um yeah. And if you did, trust it, trust the flow and explore it more. You can pull cards for this, pull cards for it and see where it speaks to you and how you can do something about it. Uh, but yeah, that's the end of our Vexed cards for the Coven for this week. We'll meet here again next Wednesday. I'm not going to say same time because I never know what time. I just know it's going to hopefully be on Wednesday. Is today Wednesday or is it Thursday? Okay, it's Wednesday. See, I'm on time. I'm on time. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I hope that you enjoy these. I hope that you enjoy our conversations because I enjoy doing them. They help me grow, they help me learn. I know I ramble a lot, but I hope you can take something from it, use it, and make it yours, and allow yourself to change with it wherever you deem fit. Um, but yeah, find me on Patreon, patreon.com/Michael Blackthorn. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Blue Sky. You can find me on Facebook. On Facebook, go join the group, The Untamed Witch. It is a private group. So I don't know if you can find it. I don't know if it's discoverable. You can message me and I'll give you the link. But when you join, make sure to fill out the questionnaire. There's questions that you have to fill out. Okay. 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 But yeah, we're having fun. We're enjoying our time together. Um, yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will talk to you all very soon. Okay, bye.